Hey guys, what's going on? Thought we'd take a minute and review something that I've actually kind of dabbled in a little bit with here within like gaming and stuff like that. And my budget has kind of been a little thin lately after having our first child and getting married and everything. And because of that, I've kind of stumbled upon a couple of things that I thought were kind of interesting that I never really knew about and I wish I'd known earlier. Uh, in terms of like gaming on a budget, some of us are too young, and don't have enough money to buy games. Other of us are too old and, all our funds are tied up in other things, or somewhere in the middle. And, buying games can be pretty expensive at times. New games can be just, astronomical in prices, but we don't want to stop gaming. But at the same time, we can't afford them, or we just don't feel like spending the money. You could always spend it in a better area. So I thought I'd go through just a couple of different places that I found. Kind of start at the top tier, something we're all familiar with, and kind of mosey on down to what I feel is kind of the most cheapest and best bang for your buck and stuff like that. So just going through the websites here and kind of showing you exactly what I've thought. First one is always going to be like buying full games, going on Amazon here and anywhere from like $50 to maybe even 100. You can really dive deep into your pockets and spend a lot of money on brand new titles. That can be really expensive, and a lot of us would try to avoid that if possible. It's something that is not fun to do, which is drop a ton of money. But we find ourselves doing it because there are certain top title games coming out that we just have to have. But going through the list, you know the prices. Everybody that games knows exactly how expensive games can really be. And so this kind of caused me to take a look at some other places and everything. Kind of on a cheaper note is actually if you own a console already, my suggestion would be to look into the PlayStation Plus. A lot of people scoff at that because you just bought the system, you have to buy games, and now this is also a subscription. However, for not a ton of money, around about $40 a year, if you want to pay the year up front. And you can find websites that'll give you kind of like a $10 discount on the full year price for a code. You put it in, that good, you're good for the full year. You can get about 24 games throughout the entire year. It's about 2 games per month. Sometimes the games are good, sometimes they're not. And the cool part is they give you kind of like 2 games per system, and the per system is like PS4, PS3, and then like the Vita system. So if you plunk down the money for one of those systems, or maybe even all three, you could potentially make out really well with getting quote unquote free games once you pay for the year, to play at any time you want to as they come out throughout the year and stuff like that. So I kind of just went to the site here, and you can say like for PS4, they got Resident Evil, which I think is the remake and stuff like that. And they've got the Transformers, which I haven't got to play yet, but it's really looking interesting, and I'd like to sit down and play that sometime. It's free. I didn't have to put any money out there to get it now that I've paid for my PlayStation subscription and stuff like that. $40 gets you that many. So I feel like that's a pretty good bargain. One game alone, is sometimes over $40 easily. And because of that, you could just sacrifice one top game that you wanted to buy, put down the money for the subscription, and you're good to go with a monthly, installment. Sometimes the games are really great, sometimes they're terrible. And so because of that, you kind of have a little bit of a gamble there. But I can't deny that I've had a lot of fun playing some free games that PlayStation or Sony has plunked out for me. So that's pretty good. Second in line would, of course, be Steam. If you don't know what Steam is, go look it up. It's great. It's kind of an add-on or an application that you download. It stores all your games, and they've been known for having some really great Steam sales, especially during the summer times. The Steam sales kind of will range from about $5 is pretty cheap to 15 or even maybe $20. Um, the downside is you only get what's available. Steam has an amazing library, but if you're looking for the deals, as you can kind of see here, I hardly recognize any of these games. Doesn't mean they're bad, but they're not top titles that you would recognize right away. They do have sales on good titles, things that you saw in the past that you never picked up. You can pick them up now, play them, a couple bucks, and something like that. They may be good, they may be not. You kind of take a gamble, but at the same time, you're not plunking down $60. So there is that. And of course, during their major Steam sales during the summer, you will find usually better titles that go on sale for a pretty good price. But it's not super super cheap. You could be paying maybe $20 for what was normally like a $60 title. So, but I they have a great library that definitely anybody should jump in and take a look at. So. Um, Getting into something that I have really been taking advantage of is bundle sites. The two that I kind of go along the most are Humble Bundle and Bundle Stars. I know there's other ones out there. I haven't found any really good deals in them. I'm not super into indie games, although I know those are great bargains. I kind of like to play more top titles that maybe have just cut and hold, and so because of age, they've come down in price. And then these bundle titles will actually take them and bundle them into like a huge package deal, and for just a couple of bucks, you can get a lot of titles to be able to play. Humble Bundle is a really great example of one that I like a lot because they tend to have really good titles. The way they work is you pay $1 and you get the first tier. You can pay more and you get the second tier, or you can pay their top price, which is about $10 or $15, and you will get all of them all together. And some of these packages include some of the great, really good titles that I've played before and I would love to play again. Um, Dante's Inferno and Devil May Cry, and things like that. There's Capcom games. I found Transformers in there one time, and even if you want just a couple of games, you can drop just $1 and get some really good, fun to play games. They have a good selection usually, and it rotates about every 2 weeks or so. And sometimes they'll have multiple bundles going on at the same time, including their store. And by the way, this is in no way, sponsored, or I'm not getting any money from Humble Bundle or Humble Store in any way. This is just something I found on my own that I really, really like a lot. So they have some killer deals that you go through here and you will find, and you will be able to make purchases from anywhere from like $3 to like $8 for a good deal, maybe $10, and then all the way up. They have brand new titles that are coming out, and you can see they're $50, $60. So they do offer those as well. But you can go through and see and get some really great stuff. I ended up getting the entire um, Darkstalkers, or not, sorry, not Darkstalkers, um, Darksiders uh, package, Darksiders 1, 2, and then all of the downloadable content for $10. So that was really great. I've never played the franchise before. It looked interesting. I really wanted to play it. For $10, totally worth the risk. And then Bundle Stars is kind of the same exact thing. They have lesser known titles within their list of stuff, but in no way do they look boring or not fun to play or anything like that. So highly suggest both these sites. And there's other bundle sites out there that you can take a look at too. I haven't had a lot of luck, with finding some good titles that I really wanted to play. But doing this, what you can do is through the months, as you find the titles that you think you'd like to play, but maybe you're not ready to play it right then. You're kind of working on another game. Buy it anyways, because what you can do is you can kind of queue up a list of games that you'd like to play in the future. And I've kind of done that with my Steam uh, library here. And most of all the bundles that you will get out of Humble Bundle and Bundle Stars will go straight into your Steam account. So you have them forever. You don't have to download it right away. You can keep it in there and download it whenever you want to. You have it forever as long as Steam is available, which at this point they're doing a really good job. I don't see them going away anytime soon. A lot of these games were part of the bundles that I got, and I have quite a few games in here, maybe 120 or so, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. Um, I don't think I paid hardly anything for a majority of these games because they were all within $1 or $2, or there was a pack of 10 of them for like $6 or something like that. And I've been just going crazy, just buying them slowly. You can see like I have a bunch of Sonic games. Love to sit down and play Sonic sometime. Even if you're only going to play for 5 minutes, if you paid only $1 for it, that's totally worth it. A lot of these old Star Wars games, as you can see, these are the types of things that would be really fun to sit down and play when you're bored. You finish up a game, you're waiting in between big titles. This gives you the ability for, on the very, very cheap, to build up a really robust library. The Red Faction games, I bought all three for I think $13. I loved that franchise. It was super amazing. Never got to play the last one, so I'm extremely excited to do all that. So that's kind of the bundle sites. That what I would think would be the absolute cheapest you could go in terms of paying for actual games. But once again, you get what they have to offer. You don't get to pick and choose games. They throw a bunch out on the table. You see what you can get. Kind of running down the line one more time, and I picked Blizzard because I'm a huge Blizzard fan. Love every single one of their games. I think Hearthstone I would play the least, but it's still fun to play, and I love everything they do. Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone are both free games. You don't even have to pay anything at all to jump into them. They're fun to play. They give you a lot of range and stuff like that. And there are other games like that too, with League of Legends, Dota, and a lot of other free-to-play MMOs like Star Wars. They do that too. There's tons of free-to-play MMOs out there. I think even DC Online, it's an MMO from DC Comics. They have their own with Superman and all that kind of stuff. The problem with those is, though, sometimes the content is limited because it is free, and then they want you to pay in game for the items and stuff like that. I'm very familiar, though, with the Blizzard games. I know that, like, Heroes of the Storm provides a lot for you pretty much up front. You can buy characters, and it is a little uh, um, aggravating to not have all the characters at your disposal, and you would have to pay real money to get them right away. But you can earn gold, and you can get the characters as they come in and stuff. Hearthstone kind of the same way with card packs, and many other games just like that. I don't want to say Blizzard's the only one, but of course, being a huge Blizzard fan, I gotta kind of put those out there first. So, but of course, the spending in game for these things can be astronomical if you're not careful. I know some people that pay $400 for Hearthstone cards, insane, but they're free to play. So, and then last but not least, it's kind of like our tried and true, which I had to throw this in there, is absolutely free, nothing to pay whatsoever, and that is emulation. You can play all kinds of old school games for no money at all. Hint, hint, as long as you bought the game and you rip it, yeah, whatever. We don't do that. No, we go in, we get the emulator, we download the game from sites like this, and we load them onto our computers, onto our PCs, onto our phones, whatever, and we play them. And so with this, you can have a huge library at your disposal of games that you like to play. Now, they're not top title games, but just because a game is old does not mean it's not good. I can sit down and play Sonic 2 for hours on end and never get bored. There are plenty of other games out there that you can just play over and over and over. Never played a Final Fantasy? Play one. Never played Final Fantasy 3? Download it and play it. A lot of these games that are coming out today have missed some of the marks, that other people would say were the key cornerstones of what games used to be, and now we're all in graphics. Go back, try those games out, play Final Fantasy VII. I mean, you'll sink in tons of hours for things like that. Lots of different Mario games that have come out that you just kind of put down and walked away from. All these things are available for free. You can game forever if you just decide to put in the time to download the emulator and the games and build your own library, which of course in some of my other videos I've put together different front ends and all that to make the gaming features for like emulation is a little bit more fun with like Emulation Station and RetroArch and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, guys, leave stuff in the comments below for things that you do that is on a discount, like discount gaming, stuff like that, sites you found, tricks you've used, while it's still within the legal realm of, not trying to steal games or to hack people or anything like that. But there's always a great compilation of different information that everybody else has that they use in order to kind of skirt around being able to game, but still have enough money in your pocket to buy McDonald's, or something like that. So, all right, guys, take it easy.